Imagine an old, heavily rusted iron-splitting wedge completely submerged inside a plastic container of liquid for 72 hours. It is simply common tap water mixed with several small pinches of crushed oak bark taken from the firewood stack. Pull the metal out now and observe the startling transformation. The thick oxidation that previously existed, that bright orange, flaky surface decay that destroys steel, is gone. In its place sits a dark, charcoal-colored protective barrier bonded to the core at a microscopic level. That exterior is not black paint. It is not some oily sealant. It actually used to be the corrosion itself. $5 of powder, 45 minutes of your time, and the decay did not simply stop in its tracks. It transformed into the primary defense. I am not going to claim this is a modern discovery by any means. It isn't. Ancient Roman centurions were practicing a version of this 20 centuries ago. Master Japanese bladesmiths developed it independently. Ironworkers across West Africa discovered it too. Blacksmiths throughout the medieval kingdoms of Europe reached the same conclusion on their own. That specific type of global convergence never happens by chance. That is simply natural chemistry being obvious to anyone who pays close attention. The reason you have never heard of this technique? The international vehicle repair industry generates over $400 billion every year. Roughly $90 billion of that revenue comes from oxidation damage alone, replacement door panels, fuel lines, exhaust pipes, and suspension parts that should have lasted for decades. A $5 solution that converts rust and hermetically seals the surface underneath is not something that industry has any financial motivation to put on a billboard. So let me demonstrate exactly how it works for you right now. You already recognize this reaction. You have seen it your entire life and simply never had a technical name for it. That dark patina on your cast iron skillet when you cook with acidic tomatoes or vinegar, that blue-black tint on antique iron gates that has somehow survived 5 centuries without crumbling into dust. The dark ink inside a medieval manuscript. Iron gall ink created by reacting iron salts with crushed tree galls has lasted 800 years on animal parchment. All of it represents the exact same chemistry. Tannin meets iron. They react. A stable compound is born. This molecule is called tannin, or in its purified state, tannic acid. It is found in tree bark, chestnuts, tea leaves, grape skins, and pomegranate rinds. It is that dry, astringent sensation when you sip strong black tea or a very dry red wine, that slight shrinking feeling on your palate. That is the tannin binding to your proteins. And when tannin encounters iron oxide, which is what rust actually is, the tannin molecules grab the iron ions and mutate them into a brand new compound called ferric tannate, blue-black, waterproof, and fused directly to the metal surface at the molecular level. It does not just sit on top of the rust like a sticker that peels away later. It transforms the decay itself into the protective shield. The decay doesn't just stop. It becomes the defense. That is not a poetic exaggeration. That is the fundamental chemistry, formally recorded in 1813 by a French scientist named Henry Braconnot, and the Canadian Conservation Institute still promotes it today as the primary standard for treating ancient corroded iron relics. What professional museums use to save objects they intend to last for centuries is the exact same compound you are about to stir in a plastic tub for pennies. Here is the supply list: food-grade tannic acid powder. Search that specific phrase online and it is in the top 3 results. Bulk supplement companies are a reliable source. A 100-gram bag costs about $5 and treats roughly 40 square feet of corroded metal that covers an entire pickup truck frame, a full set of garden tools, and you will still have powder left over. Next, phosphoric acid. This is the secret upgrade most tutorials skip. Peer-reviewed research published in materials science journals found the perfect formula is 3% tannic acid mixed with 10% phosphoric acid. The phosphoric acid helps the tannin bite deeper into the rusted layers and converts any remaining oxidation into ferric phosphate, which is equally stable. It is sold as rust remover jelly at any hardware shop for a couple of dollars. Distilled water. Never use tap. Tap water contains chloride minerals, and chloride accelerates the very corrosion you are trying to stop. A $1 jug from the local grocery, a foam applicator or cotton cloth, and a wire brush for preparation. That is it. Total cost is under $6. The tannic acid alone still functions well. The combination works significantly better. Before I walk you through the application, here is how I discovered this works. I had a workbench full of equipment that had gotten away from me. A pickaxe left outside for too many winters. Hand trowels with heavy surface decay. A draw knife I had owned since my youth that I could not bring myself to discard. I tried the standard options: wire brushing, spray lubricants, and hardware store acids straight from the bottle. They helped for a few months. Then the orange creep returned. I found the tannic acid chemistry, mixed a batch, and spent one Saturday afternoon going through every rusted piece of iron on that bench. I was not expecting the feeling that happened next. It was genuinely satisfying in a way I did not anticipate. There is something almost meditative about the entire process. Brushing the clear solution on, watching the shade shift from orange to gray to blue-black right in front of your eyes. It is slow enough to be peaceful. It was sensory satisfaction before we had a name for it. The quiet rasp of the wire brush, the soft color transition occurring while you watch, the scent of the tan unliquid, earthy, and slightly sweet like a strong cup of forest tea. Every person I have spoken to who has done this describes the exact same thing. There is something deeply fulfilling about watching something broken become whole again right in your palms. That was nearly 12 years ago. The pickaxe is still in the backyard shed. The draw knife is on my wall. Not one of them has returned to a state of decay worse than a light surface patina. I refresh them once a year in about 20 minutes. 12 years, $5 of powder, and one single afternoon. Here is how you mix it. Blend 4 grams of tannic acid powder into 100 milliliters of warm distilled water. Stir it until dissolved. The liquid turns the shade of very strong tea. Add a teaspoon of the phosphoric jelly and stir it in. That is your magic formula. Grab your wire brush or some steel wool and knock off any loose, flaking bits of rust. You do not need to sand down to shiny bare metal. That is actually the wrong strategy. The tannin requires existing rust to react with. Remove what is already detached and blocking good contact. Leave the rest. Brush the liquid evenly across the metal. Within 15 minutes, the color transitions from orange-brown to slate gray to deep black. That is the chemical conversion happening before you. Ferric tannate forming in real time. Let it dry completely for 4 hours. Then apply a second layer. The museum experts specifically call for several thin coats rather than one heavy one. Excess ferric tannate can flake if it is too thick. Thin coats build a denser and more durable layer. After the final coat cures, finish with whatever matches the tool. For camping gear, axes and knives, use boiled linseed oil or melted beeswax. For vehicle chassis and undercarriages, use a rubberized spray. For cast iron pans, Ray seasoning in the oven is the standard. Here is the one thing people misunderstand. They expect it to look like shiny paint. It does not. It looks like the metal became darker and more industrial. Some people see that and assume it failed. It worked. The blue-black finish is the ferric tannate, that is the armor. One honest caveat, this drastically reduces oxidation. It does not make iron immune under every possible condition. In high-salt environments, like coastal air or salted winter roads, the layer will slowly degrade and need maintenance. For most outdoor and garage use, that is a once-a-season touch-up, taking 20 minutes using powder from a container you bought years ago. The branded rust products at your local store, costing $20 a bottle, list tannic acid as their active ingredient. Pull up the safety papers on any of them and there it is. Same science, different container, 10 times the price. Now here is the thought that keeps sticking with me. This knowledge was once so universal that separate civilizations on 4 different continents found it on their own. Roman artisans found it by accident in leather vats. And told the smiths, Japanese masters used fermented fruit juices. African workers used acacia pods before the wet seasons. Bog bodies have been recovered in northern Europe with intact iron blades beside them after 1,000 years. Preserved not by choice, but by the naturally high tannin levels in the peat water, somewhere in the last century as the store shelves filled with branded plastic bottles. This wisdom stopped being shared. The old science just quietly sat on a shelf and gathered dust, a tiny bag in 45 minutes and it is back in your control. I do not know what specific item brought you here today. Maybe it is an old axe head, maybe a truck frame, or a skillet. Your rust isn't a failure. It's the raw material for your protection. It doesn't matter. The rust is not a problem. It is just chemistry waiting for you to act. Please like this video and subscribe to Kenzo Times if you enjoyed this. I hope to see you in the next one. Take care.